Hi, Tip in here. Just thought I'd show you this old Lockwood 245 padlock I purchased recently. It came with two keys, the original keys. Put the key in, give it a twist, nothing's happening. Let's try the second key. Same deal. Give it a jiggle and she opens. Okay. That behaviour suggests to me one of two things. Either the pins inside, or some of the pins inside the lock are worn, or the cuts on the key are worn. Given both keys are behaving in exactly the same way, I'm leaning towards the fact that the pins, or some of the pins in here, are worn. So what I want is a working key, so I decided to impression this lock. But instead of starting from scratch with a full height key blank and putting it in, jiggling it, twisting it, looking for marks, I've got a known starting point because I've got the original key. So you take the key, or I took this key, grabbed a key gauge. In this case it's the Lock Tools key gauge, which has got a Lockwood gauge on it, and I went through and measured every cut on the original key. After doing that, I had these figures here in pink. So I cut 5, 3, 4, 3, 1, 6. So those are the cuts on the original key. To set a starting point for my impressioning, I then subtracted 1 from each of those cuts to lift them higher. So 5 became 4, 3, 2, 4, 3, etc. That gives me a little bit of extra meat on the blank that I can file down if I'm too high. So I then took a blank and again used the Lock Tools key gauge, if I get it around the right way, to mark out the pin spacing there. Okay, so that gives me where I need to start filing. So I started filing, and once I had it to those cut heights, I then put my blank into the impressioning handle and started impressioning. And it didn't take long, to be quite honest. I think it took 5 minutes, I suppose, to get an open. And this is my finished blank here. So I put the key in, or my finished key, not blank. Turn it, lock opens, nice and smooth. Okay, so let's compare the cuts on this impression key to the cuts on the original key. My trustful piece of paper again. You can see in green here are the cuts of my impression key. They match the original key cuts for the first 3 positions. So 5, 3 and 4 are exactly the same. But then you'll notice that cuts 4, 5 and 6 actually mirror the higher cuts I set up when I prepped my blank by setting it to a known starting point. So in actual fact I only had to impression the first 3 because they were too high, so I had to bring them down. And this is the here is the bitting of the key, so it takes into account 3 worn pins in 4, 5 and 6. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm Tipini. Thanks for watching.